The Digital Production Buzz is the longest running podcast. It's specifically focused on digital production, post-production, and distribution. September marks our 7th year of broadcasting. We are listened to around the world in 156 countries, specifically focused on the whole issue of how do we create films. For instance, the camera that you're recording me on now is not a high-end, broadcast quality $250,000 camera. Instead, you're using brand new technology on an HD SLR camera to be able to record these images, and you're using a digital recorder that didn't exist 2 years ago. What we're discovering is that there's all new kinds of technology that we can use to tell our stories visually, and that's what the Digital Production Buzz focuses on. We create a brand new program, a 1-hour program every week. It airs live on Thursday nights at 6 o'clock on LA time. And the whole purpose of the show is to help filmmakers to understand how to make films, how to use the gear to create films, how to distribute their films, and how to make money on films. The Digital Production Buzz is an interactive interview. We have people that attend a live chat during the show, and if you're not able to make the live show, and most of our listeners are not, you can download us later from the digitalproductionbuzz.com website, or you could download us from iTunes. The whole idea is to help you make more informed decisions on the gear that you buy, the products that you create, the projects that you create, the stories that you tell, and to be able to make money on it sometime down the road. I think the big change is that how cameras have gotten smaller, cameras have gotten much more capable. We're seeing a tremendous change in camera technology, lens technology, also editing technology. Apple rewrote the rules on editing with the release of Final Cut 10, which has changed the discussion for every major editing vendor. Whether you like Final Cut 10 or not, it's changed the way that you think about and how you work with your editing software. We're also seeing the rise of the internet. So many people are making money distributing video exclusively on the internet and not distributing it over theatrical release or DVDs. The choices the filmmakers have is vastly changed compared to even 18 months ago. I think the big news for me is not a specific piece of technology, but the dynamics of change. I think Apple has totally changed the entire world of video editing. And for some people, I get lots of emails saying they really like Final Cut Pro 10. They're enjoying working with it. They like the blinding speed. There are a lot of traditional editors that have very specific workflows, and Final Cut 10 doesn't meet those workflows, and they are terribly disillusioned. I was meeting with Apple yesterday, talking with their product managers about the new upgrade to Final Cut Pro 10 to version 10.0.1. And one of the things that I stressed to them is I said, guys, if you just look at Final Cut 10 by itself, there's a lot of very, very fascinating technology, features, productivity, and speed in the new application. Where Apple made its mistake was not in the release of the software, but in the launch of the software, when they, I think, unnecessarily canceled Final Cut 7 and unnecessarily canceled Final Cut Server. This breaking of trust is what's alienated and angered a lot of traditional Apple users, which I think was unnecessary. They have never stopped supporting 7. So you can get technical support on Final Cut 7 today, and you can purchase Final Cut 7 through their 800 number telesales store now. But Apple has definitely said the future is the Final Cut 10, and that's what they're going to be updating, and that's what they're going to continue developing. Final Cut 7 has stopped development. There's going to be no more additional work on that. Look at what's happened in our industry. Look at how we've become much more dynamic. Avid and Apple and Adobe are going head-to-head and trying to find out the best way to do video editing. We can only benefit with that level of competition. We can only benefit with the work that Apple is doing, even if we don't take advantage of Final Cut 10 immediately and just stay with Final Cut 7. It sort of shattered our idea of I use Final Cut and I'm a Final Cut editor. We're not Final Cut editors, we're editors. We tell stories and we pick the tool that's the best for us, like a carpenter doesn't build a house with just a hammer. Well, suddenly a lot of us are thinking about additional tools in a way that we haven't before. I think that this competition, this diversity, the quality of the software coming out of Adobe and Avid and Apple is nothing but a benefit to us. The price competition decreases the cost of entry. And the technology that we're able to use to tell stories that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars before is much more accessible, much more affordable, and much more easy to use than it's ever been in the past. Every third-party developer lives on the edge of having their technology be incorporated as part of the larger, like Abbott or Apple, either through acquisition or because it's such a great idea they decide to add it to the application. That's been true since the very earliest days of computers. It's where the big company takes an idea that the small company has developed and incorporates that. There's been a long tradition of this. Pluralize, I think, got themselves burned, but I talked with the guys at Pluralize that have additional products they're working on. The company is themselves not in danger, and I think they've got some killer products coming in the future. The third party works because they're faster, they're more agile, they think up great ideas, they can implement them quicker. Pluralize is a fantastic company for that. And Bruce Sharp and his team are going to come up with some great products in the future. I have complete confidence in that. We have a two-day seminar in Washington, D.C. on the 20th and the 21st of October. So we're going to take our Final Cut 10 roadshow there. We're doing something brand new. We've never done this before. We are doing a 4-hour session where we're just inviting people in to ask questions. I don't have a speech, I don't have an agenda, I don't have training. It's just whatever question they've got, any subject, anything related to Final Cut, just come on in. And because of the help of our sponsors, we've been able to make it affordable. It's a $5 4-hour session. Like, sit down and anything you want to know about Final Cut, we'll get the answers for you.